Yo, what's up, guys? Just giving you guys a bet for tomorrow, LFA 175, which is January 27th, Saturday. So check that card out and make this bet right here. And if you're not on the Patreon, man, you should definitely join. We've been profitable every week so far this month. And we just won earlier today on ACA 169 on a bet on that card. So gonna give you guys a free bet here, and it's actually gonna be a big underdog bet with Adriana Rocha getting the victory here. And when you look at both these prospects, Nicole Pedroza, she's athletic, she's confident, she's pretty tall for the weight class, and she's been a lot taller than all the opponents that she's fought so far. She started as a kickboxer, but she hasn't been fighting in general that long. Her first fight was 2 years ago, almost, not even. She's only 21 years old as well. So far, so good for Pedroza, though. She's 4-0 to start her MMA career. Her first three fights, they were against fighters with 0 wins, and she took all of them out in the first round, so kind of like irrelevant to me. Then her last fight was her first fight for the LFA, and it wasn't as easy. I mean, she got extended to a decision. Her opponent was 2-0, so it was a step up in competition, but still not to me the best opponent. And Pedroza couldn't run her over, but it was good experience for Pedroza to gain time in the cage and just improve her cage time overall, because she has a really small amount of cage time right now. And for Adriana Rocha, she's 22 years old, so she's young as well, but she's a lot more experienced than Pedraza. She's 5-4, so she has 9 fights. She has more than double the fights that Pedraza has had. She hasn't taken an easy road either. She's fought good opponents throughout her career. She has an ugly record because of that, but those type of fighters are dangerous for young prospects because they've been forced through the fire. And you see Rocha, she's fought UFC fighters before. She's fought for the Jungle Fight title, so she's been in big spots, and she's going to be ready to perform in this fight. But style-wise for Nicole Pedroza, she's tall, she's a technical striker. She can put together some okay combinations. She'll go to the body, go to the head. Her knees are pretty good, especially when she can go forward and be the boss in the fight. She'll let go with volume and throw knees. And she, like I said, is a lot taller than the opponents I saw her fighting, so it was a good read to throw knees in those fights. This fight, she's going to be facing an opponent close to her height, so we'll see if that'll change her shot selection a little bit. And Pedraza is accurate with her punches and solid at landing off the back foot. She could switch stance and throws a lot of 3-2s from both stances, but she needs to improve her evasiveness, which I do think she can do. I mean, in the first round of her last fight, she got pushed against the cage for nearly the entire round and wasn't moving all that much on the feet. And she adjusted in the second, though, and she began to utilize more footwork. And she has potential. She's long, she's athletic, but she has some flaws. She still needs to not get so emotional when she fights, looking for the knockout off the back foot. She sits down and really tries to throw hard, which is what leads to her getting put in the clinch. And if she just stayed technical and pointed her opponents, it would be smarter to me. As far as kicking goes, Pedroza can throw kicks to all parts of the body, but she isn't the most active kicker. And even in rounds where she was moving forward, or moving more, like in her last fight, like I was just talking about, she still got pressed against the cage in those rounds for portions of the round, and she just wasn't that good at getting her back off the fence. She has a tendency to attack with low percentage guillotine attempts, and she normally doesn't pull guard with the guillotine, which is good because you don't want to be on your back, but no one with basic grappling knowledge is likely to tap out to that type of attack, and it's kind of just stalling. Her last opponent didn't do anything with the cage control or with the clinch control, so she was kind of just stalling herself. But a better grappler like Adriana Rocha, I could see potentially taking advantage of being in those positions. And for Petroza's cardio, she does have good cardio. She has a mean streak, so she can get more evasive, a bit smarter with her decision making, improve her wrestling defense or cage wrestling. She could be able to get to that next level, but right now she's very green, very young in her career. I haven't seen her get put on her back at all, so I don't necessarily know how she'll look in a fight when she's on bottom, and that's going to get tested here more than likely. But Adriana Rocha is better than her record would indicate. You look at her on the feet, she's aggressive, she has good straight punches, and it should be a battle on the feet if it stays there. I don't think Rocha will just get dominated. And Rocha probably isn't as good of a striker, though, and I don't see her keeping it in the striking realm. I expect Rocha to use her wrestling and grappling, which is probably going to be superior here. She has good wrestling, nice ability to land trips in a clinch, which will be pivotal in this fight. I think that she'll also have a grappling advantage being a brown belt. The issue with Roach is she's got an armbar 3 times in her career already, so you know that she can get caught slipping and get submitted even when she's on top. And I haven't seen any grappling from Pedroza outside of that guillotine. But if she could throw up some arm bars, there is a chance that she can hit one. But I think that if Rocha gets on top, she should be the much better grappler. Just if she can implement her game plan, stay alert, stay composed, she should be able to dominate on top. And she's had fights where she has been able to do that. She's gotten finishes on top, she's gotten submissions, and she's won decisions. I see this as a close fight. Personally, I think it's a striker versus grappler matchup, and the grappler has a worse record but has fought better fighters and has more than double the experience. And I would still line Pedroza as the favorite at around like a minus 200, but with her being at minus 550, I think that line is way off. I think she could maybe have grappling I'm not aware of, maybe piece Rocha up, but I think Rocha has a good chance of exposing a hole in Pedroza's game here and winning here. So I think a half unit bet on Adriana Rocha at plus 400 is a pretty decent proposition there. So give me Adriana Rocha. I think she has a good chance to get this victory here as a big underdog.